Thompson-Herah. I called the world record, Gordon. I'm not going to shy away from my prediction because I know you're going to go back to your board there and say, Kevin, didn't you predict a world record? I did. You were a little more conservative. You ended up being right. She goes 7:08 in her debut indoors. She ran a 60 outdoors, but wins it in Birmingham. She's going to race again in Tarun on Tuesday. So we'll see if your prediction of she's going to need a race under her belt to get going. When I watched this race, it made me think about what makes Thompson-Herah special, at least as it pertained to last year. And it was really the second half of her races. If you remember the Olympic 100 and Prefontaine, second half is where she really got going. Now, she's run under 7 seconds before, so she's definitely capable of going faster. But I think Thompson-Herah, even though she is a good starter, a little bit better as the race gets going. And you could see that here for a while. It looks like she was trailing this race, Gordon, and then pulls it out in the very end. I expect her to be better, in faster in this next meet, but world record seems a little bit tougher now.
Yeah, that wasn't the result of I'm running the world record next. Like that didn't have the world records on deck feeling. Now maybe we know she knows something we don't know. Maybe she had
Mhm.
something in the reserves and she was working on just a small aspect of her race, and that once she puts together everything, it's going to be much faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did not look like a win from a 10-5 runner. It did
Mm.
not look like that. It looked like it looked very neck and neck with the rest of the field. And it sounded like she was racing all-time greats in that race.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised how close the victory was,
Mhm.
especially how much she was behind with just a few meters to go. She had to,
Yep.
close it out pretty hard. And I mean, she's only run the fourth fastest time this year, right?
Yeah.
She's still behind the Polish athlete Swoboda,
Mhm.
who ran 7 flat. St. Price, the American, 7:04. Briscoe, 7:07. And then Thompson-Herah, 7:08. Now, I think we're going to get something a little bit better from her in Turin in what,
Yeah.
tomorrow, I guess? That's when that meet is.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
so maybe she gets a little bit on the other side of 7:05. I predict she'll probably do, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I thought it would be. I was kind of surprised. I thought it would be a little more dominating.
So here's the thing with indoor season, you don't have much time. Because if this was outdoor, you'd say, Who cares? It's a
Yeah,
race in April. Throw it away. Doesn't have anything to do with what they're going to run in July or August."
yeah,
But indoor season, as I mentioned, is over in a month. And Holloway comes out hot, stays hot, right? Ingebrigtsen comes out hot. Keely Hodgkinson comes out hot. Like, you don't really have time to get acclimated. Now, she can be better for sure. And I'm not saying there's no chance she gets a world record. I'm not going to go from predicting 691 to saying there's no chance that she can get it. I just think you're right. This looked like someone who's not to that stage yet of their season, which is fine. And maybe it's even better for her development outdoors, because you just don't have that many opportunities. So if you're going to run low 6.9s, you'd think, okay, I'm going to open with a low 7 or a high 6 and then work down from there with the limited opportunities that I do have. This, I mean, you're right. Unless there's some sort of aspect of a race that she was working on that we're not able to see, or some glaring error that she's going to able to fix easily, it's going to be tough for her to get sub 7. Don't know if we're going to see her at World Indoors, and if we don't see her at World Indoors, well, then the opportunities to race are even fewer.
yeah. Do we know for sure if that's she made a decision if she's running World Indoors? Do we know that?
I haven't seen anything yet. If someone in the chat has seen something, let us know. I haven't seen anything yet. I mean, they talked in the broadcast about how sparingly she runs indoors, which is true, but she's also, I mean, she competed at the last World Indoor Championships. Now, that was post an Olympic title. This was post an Olympic title as well, too. So it's not as if you could say, hey, the only reason she ran last time was she wasn't as big a deal. No, she's the Olympic champion as well then. So who knows? Who knows if she'll do it? Again, picking whether or not people are going to run indoor championships is just basically guessing. But I think if she does that, then that'll give her a couple more opportunities, get a little bit sharper. But yeah, so much of her race is on that back half. And I know every race has a second half because that's just how mathematics works, but 60, it feels like it's not true. 60 is the one thing that
It's
makes
only at first.
feels like
Yeah.
it feels like fractions don't matter in the 60.
There's no second half to a 60-meter race. That is very true. That should be a T-shirt. There's no second half to a 60. Yeah, because before they get to the second half, the race is already over. You're like, wait, they hit the wall. And they're like, wait, second half hasn't started. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But we'll see. We'll get to see her again tomorrow, literally. So this
Yeah.
may just we'll find out.
What I'm doing is very risky. I went from bold prediction one way to bold prediction the other way, and I'm just going to end up looking very silly. So that's okay. That's the position I put myself in. That's you live by the board, you die by Gordon's board. That's just the way it
There you
works.
go.